Here's an interview from one of our past shows on Rock and Metal Revival. If you're interested in hearing full shows, go to our Facebook page and check out our list of affiliates for times and places where you can hear Rock and Metal Revival. There is Children of the Next Level from Testament, and Testament will be performing at this year's Milwaukee Metal Fest on May 18th, and we want to welcome back to the show Chuck-Billy at Testament. Welcome to the show, Chuck.
Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you back here, Chuck. I was so excited when Milwaukee Metal Fest lineup dropped and saw that Testament was on the bill. You got any memories of Metal Fest in the past? Because I know you guys have played there before.
Yeah, we played it a bunch of times. I think maybe 5 times over our career, and it was kind of a shame when it kind of went away for a while because that's all really we had in America, during those times. And it's awesome that Jamie Josta jumped in and revived it. So we're looking forward to it. I remember, there was always some great shows with like all the old school bands. I know Mustaine was up there introducing us the first time. It was a big honor for us. First time I think we played it. So yeah, there's a lot of great memories there.
So what can fans expect at this show? I know with 13 albums worth of material, cutting it down for a festival, a set list for a festival, it's a little shorter, so it must be kind of difficult.
Well, this is going to be easy.
Huh?
This one's going to be easy this time because we're playing the Legacy album, our very first album.
Oh, cool.
This year with Nuclear Blast Records, we own the Legacy in New Order now, so we license it to Nuclear Blast. And actually, we're re-releasing the remastered version here in, I believe, June or July. So we're kind of like in the promotion mode for those 2 records. So we're going to go back and play the Legacy album in its entirety for that show. Because we only get a 45-minute set, and that record's about 45 minutes. So I said, you know what, let's just go for the old school.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Now, I've been reading online about a new release from Testament.
Yep.
Do you guys have a working title or a release date? What's the story with that, Chuck?
We won't talk about the title because we have a bunch of working ones, but it always changes,
Okay.
when the final minute. But I do have to say that, Chris Dovis is our new drummer on board, and he is lighting Eric Peterson up as far as writings, which I'm very excited because, again, I know, we have a lot of history, a lot of music. It's always tough to get creative, this far in your career, but I feel that, Chris has pushed Eric to that limit to really go beyond what he's done. So there's some really, really cool stuff on this record, modern, old school. It's got a little of everything. So Chris is bringing a lot to the table for this record.
So has the band's process for writing and recording an album changed from, say, the back of the Legacy era?
I'd say the only thing that's changed is that we don't live near each other and don't go to the studio and hang out and drink beer like we used to. So we work writing songs via the internet, and
Okay.
We'll work that way for a while, and then Eric and Chris come to my house, and then we'll jam live just to run through the music and the songs. But the guys have been in the studio for about 3 weeks right now, and I believe most of the drums are done. Like a couple of cover songs we're going to cover are done. We're still writing the last probably 4 songs, finalizing them. So when we get back from the Metal Fest, we got about a month and a half to get the rest of the record recorded before we leave for Europe.
Okay.
So that's awesome. I mean, last time we talked to you was in around 2020 when the last album was released, and COVID was raising hell with everybody. Are you guys still seeing any of the effects of that year of 2020 being off?
Well, not anymore. I would say being off that 2020 and going back to work, because our whole life and career, we tour America, we go to Europe for the summer, we come back. It's kind of a routine. And for that year and a half or so to just be stuck at home, it was a really weird feeling when it was time to go back to work and get back on tour. It was a little weird to get started. The nerves, what was going to happen? Am I going to get sick? The tour, we're going to put all this effort and money into a tour, then it gets canceled because somebody's sick. So a lot of went into that, but we all made it through it. We had protocols, did a little different, and nobody got sick. And eventually it was like, you know what? there's no more feelings of COVID at all when we're touring. We're back, meet and greets, you're right there with the fans, not keeping separation. So I feel it's back to the way it was now.
That's awesome. Now, I see the band is headlining Europe July through mid-August, and then back home for the Clash of the Titans tour kicking off in September. We've heard about the New Testament music coming. Will there be any New Testament music on those dates?
I don't think so, because like I said, I think we're still going to be promoting the Legacy New Order. So I think we're going to be doing an old school set, probably combining those two records.
Okay, that's cool. Early this year, you went out and you played some shows playing the Legacy and the New Order in their entirety, as they're going to be released, like you were saying, on Nuclear Blast. Are you thinking about re-releasing any of the other parts of the Testament catalog?
Well, after 35 years, bands retain the rights back to their music. So we've retained the Legacy New Order. This, I believe it's August, we get Practice What You Preach back. So nice. Now we're working on that, trying to get that remastered and ready to go. I know the Legacy and New Order, we did some really cool books with a bunch of old pictures and things we found from the past, old lyric sheets, just a lot of cool stuff we put together for that. Practice will probably be around the same thing, just trying to, and Practice was one of our biggest selling records, back when we were with Atlantic. So I know that one was pretty close to going gold, so who knows what will happen these days, but I know Nuclear Blast is very excited to get behind it and push it and get those discs out there, because really, Atlantic, once we parted ways, I don't think they really service Testament CDs out there much.
Well, after 40 years of Testament out in there playing live shows, recording albums, Chuck, do you still get the same thrill when you hit the stage each night after 40 plus years of playing live?
I do, and I still get the same nerves to the first day of the tour.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but until that first show's under my belt, my stomach's in knots, and I'm just, a little anxious. And once I get that first show over, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. So yeah, I still get excited. When you have a good performance, it feels great. It's always good to have those. And when the band is tight and the show is tight, it's like a machine.
That's awesome. I'm looking so forward to seeing this show next Saturday. I know a few years back, Chuck, there was talk that you might actually do a solo album. Is there still interest in doing that project?
Yeah, I really do want to get one done. It's just not the biggest priority, I don't know if it's all originals or if I just want to do my favorite covers I grew up with. I don't know, but I want to do something outside of Testament that just, is just a challenge, something different.
Over the years, I know, Chuck, you've appeared on other artist albums. Is there anybody that you out there in a metal world that you would really like to work with, maybe on a one-off project?
Of course, Metallica.
Maybe another big four.
I might have to go to number one.
Exactly. That would be awesome. I really, honestly, the Big Four was such a huge festival. I just wish they'd do another one of those and include you guys in it.
I would love that too. But I do believe, what that represented, a Big Four. When we were in the 80s, those were the Big Fours. Those were the Big Four that were on major labels selling platinum records. So yeah, they earned that title, and the next generation of us coming up, I think everybody knows when Seattle Sound came, it kind of just chopped metal's feet out from under them, and things changed.
Exactly. Now with the Metal Fest coming up next weekend, Chuck, what do you think separates metal fans from other fans of different genres of music? I mean, to me, it's the loyalty and the family-like bond.
I was just about to say that. It is the loyalty. It's the support from start to finish. They pass it down through generations. And, I believe that, heavy metal or just more aggressive music has always just got a bad rap from day one, no matter what. We did a cruise, and it was the first metal cruise we did, and the first metal cruise the boat had. And we met with the ship captain on the last day and had breakfast with them. And his comment was, you know what? we were so nervous about this thing with a metal crowd. We thought the ship was going to be destroyed. But you know what? There wasn't one fight, one damage. They're like, you know what? We judged you guys wrong, So it's just the perception what we get, out there.
Exactly. Well, Chuck, there is a new Spinal Tap movie that is coming out real soon, and I know every band has had some type of Spinal Tap moment down the line. What is a Spinal Tap kind of moment that the guys in Testament have had?
Well, we actually had that real Spinal Tap moment getting lost trying to find a stage once in a venue underneath the building, and all these, they're catacombs, but we literally got lost to the stage, and it was like, this is Spinal Tap, totally Spinal Tap right now, But, that was probably close as we got to.
All right. Well, we're looking so forward to seeing Testament next week at Milwaukee's Metal Fest. Get your tickets now. And, Chuck, we always let the artist pick the song out of the interview. What song from the Testament catalog would you like us to play?
Oh, wow. Why don't we play, I know you just played Children, so since we're going back old school, why don't we play Over the Wall?
Outstanding.
On the Legacy.
That is awesome. Chuck, we're so looking forward to seeing you next week, and you're always welcome back here on Rock and Metal Revival.
Awesome, guys. Well, we'll see you out there.